And we are back. Lehman College's Urban Male Leadership Program encourages and provides the resources and skills for young adults to become the next generation of leaders. Now, the organization has prepared 2 upcoming events to honor and celebrate Black History Month. And here now to tell us more about it, we are joined by the program's director, Michael Deas. And good to have you again.
Always great to have.
Every year you're looking greater
and
greater.
always be on top of the #1 show to be a part of Open.
Hey.
Always delighted.
Thank you so much for sharing with us.
Yes.
So let's talk about this here, because you work very aggressively in dealing with Black and Latino males in higher education. And we talk about what's happening during Black History Month, but really the emphasis is taking them and preparing them for higher education.
Absolutely, because as I stated on numerous occasions, there have truly been statistics to show how Black and Latino men in a 4-year college, it would take them 7 to 10 years to graduate, and it would take them 5 to 7 years to graduate from a community college. So as the director for the Urban Male Leadership Program, I know that this is a nationwide epidemic where our men of color are not transitioning into higher education, of course, you know, into the criminal justice and dropping out and so forth to that nature. So what my program continues to do, we go out to the high schools, we recruit our young men, we help those young men by mentoring them with their math skills and their reading skills to help them so that they can pass their region and then hopefully transition into the college setting. When they transition, if they come to Lehman College and they transition here, our program, we're offering a mentoring program. We call it the Circle of Support, where we surround that student with peer-to-peer mentoring, so students mentoring students, encouraging them to succeed. Then we also have our Academic Intervention and Success program, and then we also carry something where we have distinguished speakers. So we try to identify speakers of color, more so men who are prominent within our communities and nationwide, to tell their stories, to encourage our young men of color how and why it is so important to stay into college. So for my program, once we recruit those students, we retain them to successfully graduate them within 4 years so that they can then matriculate and go on to graduate school, law school, and med school and so forth.
And that's awesome. And you got an upcoming fundraiser at the end of the month?
Yes, I do. Last year we had a very successful fundraiser. It was our first inaugural awards and scholarship fundraiser. It was held at the Eastwood Manor, and this year it will be February 24th, the last Saturday. I'm asking America to come out and support this dynamic awards and scholarship program, because this program, when we honor our students who receive scholarships, but we then ask our donors to help us so that we can then begin to help our students through scholarships, book scholarships, and helping our students to continue to stay into college.
Talk to us about this, because we've talked many years.
Yes.
And you know, you always measure it by having some success stories and
Yes.
people who've done so. So walk us through a little bit about that success stories, because you've been able to impact the lives of a lot of young men
Yes.
who've made that successful transition.
Yes. Well, you know, I've been a part of Lehman College for more than a decade, and working in this capacity as the director for the Urban Male Leadership Program. I think one of my and I love to remain humble, because I've learned and I teach our young men of color that when you become a leader, you are a servant, and so I'm so proud in a humble way to have served these young men and women so that they can move and travel to become the next leaders. But I think what captured me the most is when President Barack Obama came to Lehman College and he unveiled his My Brother's Keeper, the second phase, and to have the Urban Male Leadership Program to be a part of that, to shake our president, our former president, hand, and for him to say that he was proud as to what we were doing to help men of color, to help young men understand the importance of education. So just being around that particular type of countenance assured me that in my humble way, I was doing what my job commanded me to do. So, and therefore, our fundraiser last year, we had individuals such as our former Mayor David Dinkins. We had Hazel Dukes, who committed to come. We also had our brother Hawthorne, who was over Golden Crust. You know, he passed away.
Yes.
But all of those prominent, we had Brother Navarro from Channel 7 News.
David Navarro, right.
Yes, but all of those prominent honorees, the message that they delivered to the students, inspiring them to continue to go and giving them their struggles, it was just confirmation that I'm doing the right thing as Black history leaders, such as Dr. Martin Luther King, Sojourner Truth, Harriet Tubman. And so for February, this month, it means so dear to me because this month also commemorates what our ancestors did to make sure that our young people of all color can read, can write. So when I see a president saying to have immigrants to go, but does our president even understand that it was our immigrants who built this country? It was Africans and Caribbean islanders who came here as slaves. So how can we then turn those individuals back when their ancestors, our ancestors, built this country? So I'm very proud in Black History Month to have our upcoming second annual fundraiser. It will be held at the Eastwood Manor, 11 o'clock. Tickets, you can go on the Lehman website. You'll see the Urban Male Leadership banner. Click on, purchase your tickets. And then I also have next week on Wednesday, our Dr. Martin Luther King tribute. So each year we pay homage to Dr. Martin Luther King and the great leaders. And so we have our former Assemblyman Keith Wright to deliver a keynote speech at Lehman College in the Lovinger Theater for our Black History tribute.
Gonna be awesome. And talk to us about this before I let you go. Blacks, Latinos, higher education. Sometimes people don't understand how heavy a plight that is.
Yes.
From your, just real briefly, for somebody who doesn't know about Blacks, Latinos, and higher education and the struggle, just educate a few people before we get out of here.
Yes, real quickly. So as a Black man, if you didn't know, I am. But as a Black man, I understand the challenges. A lot of our Black and Latino men, they come out of single family homes. A lot of those young men are just, making sure that they can help their mom. So when they reach 17 and 18, they're not looking at college. They're looking at, let me possibly get a job. Or if I identified college, now I must add a job to take care of mom, to take care of the other siblings, to take care of my added responsibilities. So the Black and Latino man, they are coming with a lot of baggage, opposed to maybe their white counterparts or Asian male students. So from that, per se, they then begin to have a difficult because now they have to choose. Do I take care of mom? Do I stay and take care of these 12 credits? Then you also may have that student who cannot receive financial aid because of their status in America, men of color. So you have so many different dynamics that play into Black and Latino men having a hard time to come into college and graduate on time from college. So with our program, as I made mention, we surround with three major components: mentoring, academic support, and just distinguished speakers to surround that student, encourage that Black and Latino man to know that they too can achieve.
All right, well, Michael Deas, our guest in the studio. He's the director of the Urban Male Leadership Program. Michael, thank you so much for coming and sharing.
Thank you, always
good to
so
see you,
much.
man.
Always
all right?
great to see you.
And best
Thank
wishes on the
you.
events
Yes.
this week.
And great luck with Open Eye. That's my #1 show.
Thanks a lot, Michael
Thank
Deas. All right. Well, listen to other news. Our reporter Arlene Bakoko, she visited the Latino Pastoral Action Center on West 170th Street, addressing the growing issue of opioid-related deaths. She brings us the story right now.
The numbers are outrageous, It's sad, but it's an epidemic.
Okay. An epidemic that must be addressed, says Elder Julio Rivera at the Latino Pastoral Action Center on West 170th Street, just days after Mayor Bill de Blasio and First Lady Chirlane McCray vowed to step up efforts to stem the number of opioid-related deaths that in 2016 claimed 1,000 lives and in 2017 was responsible for more deaths than from car accidents and homicides combined.
This is an important day because this city is going to tackle this issue head on in a lot of different ways, including going at the perpetrators of this crime, going at those who started this horrible epidemic.
Along with suing pharmaceuticals that manufacture opioids, the press conference served as a public awareness campaign. During the meeting, founder of LPAC, Reverend Raymond Rivera, shared the crisis even hit close to home with his daughter, who lives out of state, who recovered from an opioid addiction.
She even overdosed and in front of her children, and now 6 years, 5 to 6 years have passed, and she's totally recovered. working in Richmond, Virginia, and she's working now with girls that are going through that same problem.
Some might say it's a legal epidemic, you know, because some of this stuff is being sold over the counter. You know, it's not the push on the corner anymore. It's you know, you could buy it over, you know, get a prescription from a doctor, or even in some cases it's in the medicine cabinet.
Seated in front of first responders who have used naloxone that reverses the damaging effects of an opioid overdose, McCrae made this announcement.
This year, we are on track to distribute 100,000 kits of naloxone, literally getting the tools to save a life in the hands of the people who need it most.
With 2 pharmacies within blocks of the Latino Pastoral Action Center, a complex that also houses a charter school with 500 students, Chief Operating Officer Nilsa Ayola had this to say on the mayor's visit.
We want to make sure that our kids are safe and the parents have the right information.
The companies named, including Johnson & Johnson, have denied the claims. Meanwhile, the city is asking those with questions on opioids to call 1-888-NYC-WELL. So far this year, there have been 13 opioid-related deaths. City Hall is hoping their actions this week raise awareness not only with pharmaceuticals, but with the community that opioids are dangerous and deadly. For BronxNet, this is Arlene Makoko.
And thank you, Arlene. And listen, we have a breaking news coming to you out of the Tappan Zee Bridge, or the Mario Cuomo Bridge, right in Tarrytown, New York. All lanes of the bridge have been shut down due to multiple crashes. This due to snow and slippery conditions. Now, state police say the accidents are happening in the northbound Rockland-Brown lanes. They're temporarily losing the southbound Westchester lanes to get ambulances to the scene. At least 6 crashes have been reported, multiple cars involved in each wreck, and multiple injuries. If we find out more information before the end of the show, we'll get it to you. But breaking news coming out, the Mario Cuomo Bridge, better known as the Tappan Zee Bridge, officially shut down as multiple accidents are there. Urging you to take alternate routes, particularly if you're driving up the Major Deegan Expressway headed towards the Tappan Zee Bridge. You will find that those lanes will be shut down, so use alternate routes. Taking a quick break, we'll have more open when we return. Stay with us in a few minutes.